Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has just received a split decision in his federal trial, and this is the verdict that has the world talking. Found guilty on 2 charges, but acquitted on others, including sex trafficking and racketeering. Yes, you heard that right. A split verdict that's as complicated as the man himself. But how can he be guilty and innocent at the same time? Let's break it all down. The case has been building for nearly a year. Combs, once a hip-hop icon and business empire builder, was arrested in September 2024, accused of running what prosecutors called a celebrity exploitation ring. The charges were serious: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation for prostitution, witness intimidation and abuse. After 7 weeks in court and testimony from over 30 witnesses, including his former partner Cassie Ventura, the jury reached a final decision. Here's how it shook out. Not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, not guilty of sex trafficking involving Cassie Ventura, not guilty of sex trafficking involving a second woman, referred to as Jane, guilty of transporting Cassie across state lines for the purpose of prostitution, guilty of transporting Jane under similar circumstances. So, while Diddy avoided conviction on the most high-profile sex trafficking and racketeering charges, he was convicted of facilitating prostitution across state lines, which is still a federal felony. Each of the 2 convictions carries up to 10 years in prison. That means Diddy could face a maximum sentence of 20 years, depending on how harshly the judge rules. Prosecutors have already said they'll push for the full sentence. The defense, however, has asked for Diddy to be released from federal custody, where he's been held since last fall. Throughout the trial, disturbing stories came to light. Cassie Ventura took the stand, describing years of coercion, abuse, and fear. She claimed Diddy once assaulted her in a hotel hallway, an incident reportedly caught on surveillance video. She also testified that he threatened to publicly release explicit videos of her if she didn't comply with his demands. Other witnesses, including a friend, a former assistant, and even rapper Kid Cudi, described a man who used wealth, intimidation, and violence to control people around him. The most damning testimony came from a witness who claimed Diddy dangled her over a high-rise balcony, while another said he threatened to kill Kid Cudi, and days later, someone firebombed Cudi's car. Prosecutors painted Diddy as the ringleader of a glamorous but dangerous empire, where luxury parties masked a much darker reality: drugs, abuse, and control. According to them, anyone who defied him was punished or silenced. But Diddy's legal team fought back hard, saying all the relationships were consensual and describing his private life as merely part of a swinger's lifestyle. They argued that he was being unfairly targeted because of his fame, and that the case was based more on character assassination than on hard evidence. In the end, the jury gave a compromise verdict, dismissing the most explosive claims of sex trafficking and racketeering, but still holding him criminally responsible for crossing legal boundaries. And it's not over. Diddy could still face more lawsuits, and federal investigators say they are continuing to examine new evidence tied to financial crimes and obstruction. So what does this mean for Diddy's future? He's no longer just fighting for his career, he's fighting for his freedom. His reputation is in tatters. His brands, partners, and former collaborators are distancing themselves fast. Whether or not he serves time, the fall from grace is real, and possibly irreversible. So why is this verdict so complicated? Because it's not just a legal case, it's a cultural one. Combs isn't just an entertainer. He helped shape an era. From Bad Boy Records to Sean John to Revolt TV, Diddy is an empire. But the last few years have seen his image unravel. Multiple civil suits, allegations from former employees, footage from surveillance cameras, and now a criminal conviction. So, what happens next? Combs' team has announced they will appeal, and civil suits are still pending. In the end, the courtroom may have spoken, but the impact of this verdict is just beginning to reverberate through the music industry and beyond. The fall of a legend, or just the next act in a complicated legacy? Only time and history will decide.